Pro Evolution Soccer keeps evolving and evolving, and this year's improvements are some you have to keep in mind even from the game plan screen. How did you approach both the gameplay and the artificial intelligence improvements this year?
I think we tend to focus first and foremost on, I know it sounds boring, but we do listen to our fans first. We have surveys that we do every Christmas, and we get hundreds of thousands of people giving us their opinions. And this is how we tend to establish what's the most important thing. So when we started to look at the gameplay, the first thing that the fans wanted was it to be far more realistic and to fix the goalkeepers. They were so important for us. So the first thing we had to do, though, is find a balance. So we can't just go super realistic and then make it so frustrating to play and lose all these new people that we brought into PES. So what we thought about doing is bringing in new mechanics, which, without you thinking, slows the game down. And I think Real Touch was the first feature that we all wanted to do. This is a brand new first touch system. And as I mentioned, without you thinking about it. Without thinking about it, you want to take more time with your first touch. You want to be more careful. And naturally, that slows the game down. So with this feature, we managed to achieve something which we hope is the balance between arcade and simulation, which is always a fine balance. And with the goalkeepers, we are super, super confident. You know,
how do you get the best goalkeepers in history, as you mentioned?
Yeah, this is maybe after not achieving that for 20 years, you know, but it takes that much time. And it depends also what you want to achieve with it as well, because sometimes the goalkeepers can be so good that it becomes incredibly frustrating. You know, it's 0-0, 1-1. But I think what we wanted to do is make users think more about where those shots are being placed. When you get through on goal, you're not instantly thinking, this is a goal. And that was a problem last year. I think everybody felt all you had to do was beat the last line of the defense and you were guaranteed a goal. This year, you have to do that and then also still have the skill to put the ball away. And the goalkeepers animate beautifully. They are completely reworked from the ground up. They also have their own AI system as well, and individual AI systems. So certain goalkeepers like Neuer, like I mentioned, is much more larger than life. He rushes out. He's very, very offensive. And you've got other keepers which like to stay on their line and do shot stopping as well. And this is very important for us because, like I mentioned, it's taken 20 years to get these goalkeepers. It's not as if we did it in 1 year or 1 day. And we really feel, and we're that confident that after seeing sports games and football games for the last 20 years, we feel like we have achieved what everyone's been trying to achieve.
That's also when you control the goalkeeper yourself, for example, in a 11 versus 11 players match?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to be a lot harder to learn. I think a lot of the beauty of the goalkeepers is really the intelligence of behaving of where the ball is. One of the most important things that we've done for PES is stop making players look like they're lost or look like they're a video game character. You know, wherever the ball is, they're fully aware. They are instinctive and they're human and they're reacting in a human way. And I think with the goalkeepers, that was something that we wanted to achieve for a long time. So certainly that new AI system should help anybody playing goalkeepers 11v11 for sure.
But if you are tweaking both the first touch and the passing, how does that feel to those who have been playing Pro Evolution Soccer for the last years?
One of the most important things is to remember what made PES great in the first place. And this is something that we actually went back to the drawing board for PES 2015 when we first brought in Fox Engine for the new consoles. And what we did here was we focused on, okay, why do people play PES back in those PS2 days? And it was that control of the player. It was instant. It was super responsive. When you press the button, something would happen. So I think for us, it's not a case of worrying about how we innovate within the gameplay. It's more being conscious of the fact of never forgetting about those key things. I think for PES 14, where we had a lot of issues and the fans were upset, maybe we wanted to achieve something which was about moving fantastically and looking visually amazing. But the gameplay wasn't PES. It was slow responsiveness, slow turning circle. Everything was slow, really. And also the feeling of being out of control. I think as long as we focus on those things, whether you're a pro PES player or a new PES player, you will come in and you will enjoy the game because you can pass the ball about and move about. But if you want to learn and if you want to master the game, finally, it has some layers.
Now that you mentioned the graphics and the Fox Engine, what can we expect in terms of new graphical effects, new animation, new spectacle aspects?
So, well, to be honest with you, the visuals is I've seen a massive upgrade right now. However, we're still not showing a full gameplay trailer because we're taking our time with Fox. And that's a beautiful thing I think people forget, is that we're still learning about Fox, and Fox is still improving. So every year, there's a lot more work going into the engine, which allows us to improve year on year. So hopefully we'll still be able to surprise you. Some of the visual touches this year are throughout the whole game. Player models, lighting, stadiums, crowds. But also something that we're doing on the actual pitch gameplay is what we brought is volumetric lighting. This is a little bit technical for you guys, but what it means is that the players look more 3D on the pitch. This allows a lot more depth, a lot more space in between players, and allows you to then impact the gameplay with the dribbling and things like that. However, just regarding the visuals, what I will say is to please wait. We are going to keep inputting more of the Fox Engine elements that we're still learning about, and hopefully before Gamescom or by Gamescom, you'll be able to see the game in its full force.
One of the most welcome features last year was the ability to customize the kits and share, etc.
Yeah.
How are you improving that feature this year in consoles and PC? I don't know.
Yeah, so for the PC, it's a little bit easier for everybody. Obviously, PC gaming is a little bit more open. But thankfully for the PS4, this year, you can now share your files as well. So last year, we brought in a new photo importing, which was new to the PS4. However, it was the templates. You had to import it yourself. You have to go choose your color, the kit color, short color, things like that. Now you can finalize everything and put it into one file and share it with your friends, and they can install it instantly. This has been one of the biggest announcements at the show that we've made, certainly for the fans. As soon as we put it on social media, it exploded. Everybody's super happy, so we're really happy for the fans right now.
PS4 only?
Right now, so you can do it for the PS3 already. In terms of new consoles, it's PS4. It's not exclusive by design. It's not as if we wanted to do exclusively. It's just that the PS4 is a little bit more open for us, and we're able to do it, and we have a really good relationship with Sony. Although I do want to reiterate, for our Xbox One fans and Xbox 360 fans, we're not trying to alienate them. It's not something that we sign with Sony. It's unfortunately something that's easier to do on PS4.
Rosters topic. Last year you had, of course, you already said, sorry, we have to improve this.
Yes,
but yeah, on to a new page. Are you keeping the data pack model, or are you perhaps trying to implement a weekly update feature, something like that, or can we expect more data packs?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, the data packs is something that we're going to keep doing, but we're going to separate these rosters now for sure. So yes, we are sorry. 100% for PES 17, you will have a day one update. But not only that, we're improving our live update system. So in PES 16, it was every week you would have an update, but it was only online. And this year for 17, thankfully, it's for online and offline as well. So that hopefully will please all the fans, and no more mistakes from us, and we're very sorry. But also for the data packs, we're going to keep releasing those data packs, whether it's stadiums or player faces or boots and balls. It will stay that way, and it will stay free.
Now we are into rosters. There is an exclusive deal for La Liga being signed for FIFA. So what can we Spanish players or La Liga fans all over the world expect in terms of clubs and stadiums from La Liga?
I understand that people have heard some things, but right now this is not the time to talk about licenses. What I will say to the Spanish fans in particular who have heard this rumor is to please look at our screenshots. We happen to have Atletico Madrid, whoever's, please, let's wait for an official announcement, and we will definitely let you guys know as soon as possible. The reason why we tend to wait in general, not just about the Spanish league, but in general about licenses, is because even right now, I can't talk about it, but we're signing some new deals and some new things behind the scenes. We never announce things this early. We always yearly announce at Gamescom, because it's in August. It's a really good time. The season's about to start, and every club and every league has already chosen its partners. So for us, it's really important to wait until then before we start talking about licenses in general. Obviously, I mentioned Atletico Madrid. We have Arsenal in this build as well. First time licensed for a decade in PES as well. So hopefully some more good news for you guys.
And how are you improving the user interface and the menus and all that stuff? Because in the previous game, some of the menu navigation was kind of old schoolish, so to say.
We are still working on that, so it's going to be a process, certainly throughout, in terms of a dramatic change. However, you are right. We are changing the menus throughout the game, for sure. So right now in the E3 build, people will be able to see a brand new HUD inside the game. They'll also be able to see a brand new game plan screen where we've got the little player faces now as well. So those are the kind of things that are nice. We've also brought in brand new replay broadcast camera angles, much more realistic. So when you do score a goal, you'll get a better replay system than you had previously as well. So hopefully these are the nice little touches that people do hear about, because I know that certainly we always talk about gameplay improvements, gameplay, but hopefully people will see these new presentation elements as well.
Closing one, you mentioned the esports aspect of the game before, during the presentation.
Yeah.
And of course that relates to my club and other stuff. Brilliant. How are you approaching esports and the competitive broader play of PES this year?
So we've got some exciting things to announce later in the year regarding PES League and the whole esports scene. How we're going to support that in-game is this new data sourcing tool inside the game called Versus Match Analysis. And this actually provides you, the user, with a lot of data based on how you play and how others play as well. So you'll be able to see exactly how you play, whether it's a possession game, counter-attack, long ball, etc. And also your favorite move. So if you like to use trick moves, 1-2, through ball, lob through ball, who knows? And then with that, you can see who you're about to face and see all their elements as well. This, I think, will become a very tactical play when it comes to esports and the competitive scene in PES League. Because what it means is that you could have a newcomer who's new to the whole PES League infrastructure and play against last year's champion and treat it just like a small team in real football against a mighty Juventus or Real Madrid or Barcelona, for example. You will have to respect that player because he has that history, that pedigree, but maybe with some really cool tactics, you can counter him and beat him. So yeah, we're really excited about match analysis, and definitely some more announcements coming at Gamescom regarding esports.
Can we expect the game to launch in September, I guess?
You can expect to know this very soon.
And that's PS4, PC and Xbox One?
And PS3 and Xbox 360.
Are you considering Nintendo's new hardware? I mean, Konami was really supportive to Nintendo with Pro Evolution and the Wii, etc. Can we expect PES to get back to Nintendo consoles soon?
I think you can expect Konami to take interest in all new consoles, all new hardware. It's not just about the new Nintendo, but also we've had quite a few announcements, even this show, of some new hardware, and we're really interested. Same with VR as well. We would never count anything out. Certainly, I think I'd love to follow our fans. If our fans buy the new consoles, buy the new Nintendo console, then please let us know, because we do want to provide for those guys.
So you're not taking into account the new features for the Xbox One S, for example, the HDR lighting or something like that, for this game right now?
It's not something that we are talking about right now. It's a lot of the new features that you've heard about. Obviously, as a development company, we've had very good relationships, so we've maybe planning a little bit better. However, there's nothing to announce right now, and there's nothing to confirm or say yes or no, mainly because we're still learning as well. Those new machines and new features are very exciting, and I think the fans, not just PES fans, but video game fans, should be very excited, and I'm really happy to see the industry go this way, because I think it's going to keep it much more interesting consistently rather than this 6-year cycle.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you for your time. Cheers.